Colleagues in the government, mga kababayan, good morning. I returned today from a productive official visit to the Socialist Republic of Vietnam. My trip to Hanoi was another step forward in further solidifying the valuable ties between our nations and peoples. In my meeting with President Chan Day-Kwan, we committed to ramp up bilateral exchanges to boost our strategic partnership. We agreed to increase exchanges between our officials and peoples and establish a six-year action plan starting 2017 for the implementation of activities in the areas of common interest. We have also agreed to increase the volume and achieve a more balanced trade and investment. We will enhance the investment environment to make it more conducive for businesses in both countries to flourish. Aside from identifying new avenues of defense cooperation, we further agreed to strengthen existing maritime cooperation mechanisms. We will adopt measures to ensure the safety and security of fishermen from both countries. We will explore ways to intensify law enforcement cooperation against transnational crime, including the illegal drugs trade. We recognize that sustained economic growth and development rides on the back of a stable and secure environment. We reaffirm the commitment to maintaining and promoting peace, security, stability, safety, and freedom of navigation and overflight, as well as unimpeded commerce in the region, particularly in the South China Sea. We called for a peaceful resolution of disputes, including full respect for legal and diplomatic processes, self-restraint in the conduct of activities without resorting to a threat or use of force, in accordance with the universally recognized principles of international law under the 1982 UNCLOS. We are nations for peace. We will continue to be so. A peaceful region is what we owe as a legacy to our succeeding generations. We agreed to support each other in other aspects of leadership roles in the 2017 as the chairs of ASEAN and APEC respectively, and to reciprocate the warm hospitality of each of the countries. I met with several leaders from both Philippines and Vietnam companies and encouraged mutually beneficial investments in the country. My official visit to Vietnam demonstrated our adherence to an independent foreign policy which seeks cooperation and collaboration with friendly nations on the basis of sovereign equality, non-interference, and the mutual respect to protect our national interests. On a personal note, I was deeply honored to have been welcomed warmly by the Filipino community in Vietnam. They are our hard-working kababayans who continue to contribute to the social economic development of their host nation and our own country. I informed them of developments in our country, and I assure them, as I have assured you, that I will be faithful to the mandate you have reposed in me as your president. Daghang salamat. But somebody, he's a billionaire, and made some mental computation where we were chatting. They were drinking, men ako makainom. So, but during this, about to Yung bago ka matulog, we were in the, I was given the presidential suite sa maraming upuan. A billionaire made a computation. So, Mayor, I'll give you the economic impact of drugs in the country. Your country. He said, this is the way how it goes. There are, at least he said, you claim to be 3 million drug users and addicts. One hit daily costs around 200 or about 6,000 a month. If these users and addicts use drugs on a daily basis, that's about 18 billion a month, or around 216 billion a year. Otherwise, his money would go to food, education, health. And what was the cold reality? And I was not able to sleep soundly that night. Even I was stressed. Why the figures? Because the mining industry gives us about 70 billion only. And here is a cost of 16 billion. Destroying lives, it's an investment to destroy lives. It's an investment by the drug lords that will break the social fabric of our society. Alam mo, pag may addict sa pamilya, pag mayroon na magnakaw ng mga bagay-bagay, ng mga ipagbilihan ng mga kotse kung saan-saan, and pag wala na, they go into crime. And that is why, nationwide, ang crime went on a spin down. We're going doon, almost 50% in the entire country. Wala na masyadong patayan. And here is a nation which its ordinary government employees are talking as if they are gods, and to later on to be orchestrated or followed by their head. Instead of coming over, knowing fully well, it could have not escaped their attention that I entered into the presidency of a budget that was prepared by my predecessor. And that budget is in operation now. No other source. The budget for next year is being prepared. And now we have placed funds for building rehabilitations in the military camps, as I have requested the Armed Forces of the Philippines to weigh in into the problem. It's so exasperating, Rita. Knowing that, I said it could not have escaped their attention. They are running a government also. Yes. Instead of saying, instead of 30, instead of killing them, why don't you build several? Well, I get funds from the Office of the Foreign Affairs, get it from Ivasco, the Secretary of the Government, get it from the funds, the intelligence fund of the Armed Forces of the Philippines, or Secretary Aguirre, the newest enemy of my friend. So, it's not allowed. That would be like robbing Peter to pay Paul. And this is the tragic thing about miscalculation. Whether it is in business, whether a computing household, you have always to calculate correctly. That is why there is calculus, and it's the greatest need for a calculus is even in the military. The danger is always miscalculation. I don't know if those guys there have the pea-brained to think about calculations. It's only good to criticize. That's it. What's up? But in public, there is the United Nations. You can always deliver your speech there, ask the Commission on Human Rights, or voting, then go send some rapporteur. And I was investigated during my mayorship days already. And there is the result. And also, my lady, in all these years, not a single case was filed against me. It's all talk until now. Now, the question is, let's say it was quoted by the EU, by this, I said, the pea-brained lawyers there, that this official, even when he was mayor, he was threatening to kill the criminals. What an idiot group of idiots in the purest form. You know, when you want to charge me, you have to find out if the penal laws of this land would make a mayor liable if he threatens the criminals or intimidate the wrongdoers. You can read the penal codes, criminal laws of this land, you'd find nothing. And to say that this mayor has been threatening to kill criminals, kaya kung ikaw nandito, bakit hindi ka magmumura? You are portrayed or pictured to be a cousin of Hitler, and yet do not even bother to find out, to investigate if that. To imagine that I will be facing and even the International Court for Genocide. Hindi pa naman kabalbagan ang mga... Ikaw daw, presidente ka tapos ganunin ka. It was, of course, all right when I was mayor. Because then, that would be about just the minuscule of the affairs of the humanity in this planet. But when I am the president, and the tyrants get, bitter and stupid, you put all the Filipinos, especially outside, you put them to shame. Okay lang sa akin, sanay ako sa politika eh. Lahat ng kababuyan dumating na sa aking buhay. Pero itong mga ganito, look, kayong US, EU, you can call me anything. But I was never into, or I am never into hypocrisy like you. Close your doors, it's winter time, there are migrants escaping from the Middle East. You allow them to rot, and then you're worried about the death of about 1,000, 2,000, 3,000. Hitler massacred 3 million Jews. Now, there's a 3 million drug addicts. There are. I'd be happy to slaughter them. At least, if Germany had Hitler, the Philippines, but my victims, I would like to be all criminals to finish the problem of my country and save the next generation from perdition. Salamat po.